Welcome to No Enemies Here. I hope the audio is working. The show where I'm going to talk about 1 puke and 3 shits. Now you're wondering, what the hell? What the hell? Okay? Just let me get back to see if this worked. Okay, so the audio works. Sorry about that last time. Probably was a good rant, but I got another rant happening here. So you're wondering, why do you want to talk about 1 puke and 3 shits? Well, I went to work today. And as you know, I work as a superintendent engineer. Janitor. Love it. Love it. Sometimes there's days like this, man. But this was the most wicked day that ever happened. Now, I know this ain't wargaming news. But, here, let me give you some quick wargaming news. I asked Compass for a review copy of Arnhem, the combat series, and we're gonna see if they're gonna send it to me. I don't think Billy likes me. Anyways, so I go to work this morning, and it's, I get in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and at 8 o'clock I hear a knock on my office door. The stock room, basically, my office door. And there's this nice lady, Christine, who says, Dan. And she has one of these looks like, and oh no, so I walk towards the door and somebody puked on the floor. Okay, I got my first puke, right? In 2 years that I've been working there. So anyways, I'm cleaning it up. And there's still people like coming in and out, right? So this is in the hallway. So I'm cleaning it up the hallway toward going to the bathroom. I'm cleaning it up. I've got the mop and I'm cleaning up. This guy walks right through it. And I look at the guy like he's like he's a moron. And he just says, oops, sorry. And now he's dragging puke all over the place, right? Thanks, buddy. As I'm doing that, like looking at the guy like he's an idiot, another guy walks in it. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. So, I clean up the mess on the floor, right? And everybody looks at me like, tough life, yeah. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You got a tough life. Look at your face. Anyways, I'm cleaning it. I go empty the bucket. And I'm sweating. I gotta go to the bathroom. As I go in the bathroom, in the handicap stall, for lack of a better word, the disabled stall, there's a guy. He took the dump of all dumps, clogs the toilet, and he kept flushing because he thought it was gonna go down, but it didn't go down. What happened is it went all over the goddamn place. Now it smells like shit, and all the 3 stalls are full of shit on the floor, right? So I'm cleaning it up, yeah, whatever, Empty the bucket. By the time that I finished cleaning up, walked maybe 25 feet. Okay, no, let's say 25 yards, sorry. 25 yards to the stock room. I still haven't gone to the washroom yet because I had to go to the washroom. I go back, and some other guy filled up the bowl with toilet paper and the shit and all that, and he flushed because he thought he was gonna get it out. There's shit all over the place again, and I'm like, did you be serious? Like, is this karma? What did I do? I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. I don't hurt people. I tell everybody to be nice. So I'm cleaning it. This time, no problem, 25 yards, go back, it's clean, right? It's clean. I do what I have to do. I gotta pee, right? I pee. I get out. I sit down, and one of the workers from the kiosk from First Circle, because I work for First Circle, he comes in and says, Dan, you won't believe it, I'm gonna puke, this and that. And he's holding his hand. I go, what are you talking about? I go, I hope you're joking. He goes, oh man, go see in the bathroom. I go back to the bathroom, there's shit all over the place. It's as if I never did anything. I never cleaned anything. I lost faith in humanity. If there was a blow up the world button, I would sit on it with my ass to make sure that I would hit that button. But because I'm doing it with my luck, the button probably would go between my two ass cheeks and I wouldn't press the button down because it'd go up. You know what? That's the kind of day I'm having. I hope you're having a better day. Riccardo Massini is in the house, and I hate to continue a conversation about shit and then saying Riccardo Massini is a professor. Riccardo Massini is fantastic. I love him. We have a sea count and plays in the house. Meandering Mike, he was going to do something, but it wasn't the day to do it. So, you know what I'm talking about. Meandering Mike's a good guy. And, look, if anybody has some puke or shit stories, leave it in the comments below. We'll have a good time. Okay? God, I have a headache. Enjoy the show. Be nice.
Black Cherry.
Hello everyone, this is Riccardo Masini, and this time the greatest day in history and games is July 25th, 1943, the day in which the Italian fascist regime was taken down essentially by itself, and the night in which Benito Mussolini fell from power, the night of the last meeting of the Grand Council of Fascism. We are in the first part of first half of 1943, and the military situation for Italy is horrible. It is absolutely abysmal. There has already been a first political crisis after the Great Partito, after the Battle of El Alamein, in which many fascist leaders have lost their place in the government, being substituted by even more loyal supporters of Benito Mussolini. And those first time fascist leaders have essentially lost the cabinet. Why? Because Benito Mussolini is beginning to concentrate power only on himself and on the very most restricted circle of loyalist supporters. Tunisia has been lost, and also the very first piece of Italian national ground, the island of Pantelleria, has been conquered by the Allies. And on July 10th, 1943, what everyone was expecting finally happens. Allied landings on mainland Italian national ground, even if it is an island, but it's a very important island for us, for the Italians, that is Sicily, the Sicily landings. Mussolini addresses the Italian people only 2 weeks later, the first landings, but the situation is rapidly deteriorating. Sicily is untenable. Some Italian troops are fighting firstly for the ground, others are surrendering en masse, and the German high command has already told the Italians that essentially Sicily cannot be defended. Also, the Germans do not trust the Italians. They fear that the Italians will possibly ask for a separate peace or even switch sides. And so they're actually preparing, making their plans for an occupation of the Italian peninsula. In the meantime, at court, because we must always remember that Italy is a monarchy, has always stayed a monarchy, unlike Germany, and it is also a constitutional monarchy. So at court there are many movements. The Savoy dynasty, the kings of Italy, well, they fear for their position. Mussolini formally is just the prime minister of the Italian monarchy, and many Savoy leaders, like the minister of the royal house, Duke of Aquarone, and her princess Marie-José, wife of the heir to the throne, Prince Umberto di Savoia, are actually plotting for Mussolini's deposal and the exit of Italy from the war, thanks to many in the army of the Italian army, who think in the Regio Esercito, the Italian Royal Army, that think that the situation is desperate. There are already two possible candidates for the succession, two marshals of Italy, Marshal Caviglia and Marshal Badoglio. In the meantime, Dino Grandi, that has one of those fascist leaders that has been essentially deposed during the first political crisis in 1943, and has been foreign minister and has maintained some close ties with the British government, with many British political leaders, senses that the time is up and begins writing an order of the day for the Grand Council of Fascism, that is a consulting piece of the government, but it is still in place. And this order of the day calls for giving emergency powers to the crown, to the king. But Grandi's order of the day is willingly ambiguous. It does not say anything about the persecution or not of the war. Some fascists or hardliners of the fascist National Party, like Farinacci, or Scorza, think that the order of the day could actually be instrumental to give even more powers, maybe not to Mussolini, but maybe to the fascist party, and so to militarize the country and continue fighting alongside the Germans. Grandi is a diplomat. He has he wrote willingly an ambiguous document, but the situation begins accelerating. July 15th, old King Vittorio Emanuele III, Victor Emmanuel III, informs Marshal Badoglio that he will be the next prime minister. Mussolini is formally still in charge, but also tells Badoglio, the king tells Badoglio, we need a constitutional passage because we are a constitutional monarchy. July 19th, Mussolini and Hitler meet in northern Italy at Belluno. It is a very tempestuous meeting because Mussolini tells Hitler that Italy won't stay long in the war, the situation is deteriorating, essentially that he is losing power by the day. But Hitler responds mentioning super weapons, wonder weapons, and that dismissing any possibility of an Italian exit from the conflict. Thus, the meeting is a failure. Mussolini returns to Rome in a very dramatic moment, just moments after one of the first Allied bombings of the city. In the meantime, the stage is set. Mussolini convenes the Grand Council of Fascism to discuss the situation. Remember, its last meeting has been in 1939. It's more like, you remember Louis XVI with the Estates General in the French Revolution? Something like that. And now Grandi, who is the president of the Grand Council, has the constitutional instrument in agreement with the court to press his order of the day. The council meets on the night of July 25th at Palazzo Venezia. You know, the balcony as exactly just that palace. And the meeting is very tense. Some of the fascist leaders convene present themselves there hiding weapons under their uniforms. Grandi himself has 2 grenades inside his pocket. The order of the day is abridged in various parts, but at the end passes even with the approval with the signature of Mussolini's son-in-law, Galeazzo Ciano. The problem is that, okay, the order of the day is passed. So an order of the day in which the fascist leaders tell we must give back the power to the king, to the crown. But it is ambiguous. It is not clear if it is if it could be enforced or not. So the very next day, Mussolini, thinking that the passage has been just a small political setback, after all, who cares about the Grand Council of Fascism, says that he will have just to deal with a simple government crisis when he is summoned by the king at Villa Savoia. Okay, in the meeting with the king, Mussolini realizes, however, that the king is actually removing him from the rank of prime minister. But Il Duce believes that, okay, I will not be any longer the prime minister. Who cares? I'm still the leader of the fascist national party. You know, he is still thinking with the political categories of before the war. And begins discussing new ministers with the king. Okay, we will make this government, we will have, this one will be foreign minister, one will be defense minister, etc. Just like any political crisis. But the meeting ends just 20 minutes after. Mussolini is courteously but firmly dismissed by King Victor Emmanuel. And when he is descending the ladder of the stairs of Villa Savoia, he is arrested by the Royal Carabinieri, and is put into an ambulance and taken away. Immediately after the meeting, Badoglio becomes the new prime minister, and while he will publicly declare that the war still goes on, in a dramatic radio announcement, crowds of citizens, of Italian citizens, get the news and get out on the streets celebrating and asking finally for peace. The fascism as a regime in Italy is actually over. On September 8th, Italy will officially sign a ceasefire with the Allied forces. The armistice, Mussolini will be then freed by the Germans, and he will form a German-controlled puppet government known as Italy, the Republic of Salo. But that is another story. But this is a story in which what seemed like a political crisis actually deteriorated in a regime change, in a dramatic regime change, and what will get Italy from a power fighting inside as a member of the Axis to a co-belligerent state fighting alongside the Allies. However, if there was so much political turmoil, it was because the military situation was far from normal. And the game I'm proposing you today is dedicated just to the military situation, even if there are some ties with the political situation. This game is an amazing light war game, 1943-1945, my dear friend Sergio Schiavi. And you already know Sergio for Give Us Victories, Rescue March, and other great games. With simple but content-rich rules, somehow reminiscent in the style of Japanese bonsai games by Yasushi Nakaguro. The very small box, 1943-1945, allows you to relieve the main dynamics of the Italian campaign in short and intense gaming sessions. It actually starts in 1943, just before what we said today. Then there is the fall of the fascist regime, and then we have the rest of the campaign of Italy. The game starts then with the fall of Tunisia, and then it is up to the live player to decide where he will invade the Italian peninsula in a true sandbox fashion. The main historical facts are all there, and for example, the Allies will devolve much less resources to Italy after 1944, the Normandy campaign after Overlord. But all the main units will be present: navies, fighters, armored divisions, paratroops, even partisans. And the situation is very well depicted. The players will also have to decide which special events to activate. Will the Germans defend Italy inch by inch, or will they conduct a naval fighting retreat? Will the Allies directly pound the enemy defenses in frontal assaults, or will they try alternative landings to bypass those impregnable strong points? In these games, the fate of Italy will end of a good portion of World War II in Europe will actually rest in your hand. Fascism will fall as soon as a piece of Italy is conquered, but even after that, the war will go on until its final conclusion. So that's it for this time. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao.
Does this Katzenkuhle work? Yes, it does work. So here we go with the crux of the show. You have to excuse me. I've been stimulated today beyond words. So let's get on with the show. Okay, Tony of Tony's Board Life has 2 videos. Let's Play Men of Iron, Battle of Tewkesbury, Part 3. He's playing it with Ruffy. And then they are playing Mammoth. This is a game by Mark Miklos, published by GMT. Aaron Plays has got a slew of videos. So, I'll tell you, Fields of Fire. He has 3 videos on Fields of Fire. Patrol number 1, turns 1 through 10. And then he plays, he's got a channel update, and then he plays turn 9 and 10 of Korea 1950 of Fields of Fire 2, and episode 6 of The Return, mission 2, hit and run of Battle Hymn. This is a ambush game set in the Pacific. Advanced Quad Leader Spotting Rounds looks at electronic. Here we go. Electronic historical rules of Advanced Squad Leader rulebook. Huh? That's I did good. Advanced Squad Leader Academy, Episode 6, June 30th, 2025. And they are doing a random selection show, episode number 6. Agility Snips Gaming Table, 4 videos. 2 of them are on Fields of Fire in its Mission 4, Parts 3 and 4 in its Vietnam mission. And maneuvering at the position of Wolfpack Patrol 4, Part 2. This is a game by Mike Bertuccelli, and it's published by GMT, and it's a solo game. Then War of the Rings playthrough number 1, Part 5, The Fate of Lorien is decided on Agility Snips Gaming Table. Andrew Chung, 4 videos, The Hunt for Red October, an introduction. Then 1 turn example of play parts 1, part 2, and the conclusion, and final thoughts on Andrew Chung's channel. Andy's Hobby Headquarters, 2 videos, TACOM Sherman Big Box Look Inside M4A1 and Israeli M1 Super Sherman. These are models. And then Half Track, full preview of production kit. It's done, and it's a 1/16 scale, so it's biggie wiggy and expensive wensive. Alright? Alright. Artie of ARDWULF'S Lair has 1 billion videos, but I took 2. The Chit Show with Dan and Artie. I'm Dan. And that's our 200th show. That's unbelievable. And we sold a lot of games. Well, we sold a lot of games. There's a lot of games that I put out for sale. Go check it out. Maybe there's something you like. But like I said, I'm selling my house and I'm looking for an apartment, so be patient with getting the games. Okay? Okay. ASL Scenario Archives. IR 117, end of the line, they say. Whatever the hell that means. Bonding with Board Games and RPGs, 2 videos, it's live. Number 13, Knave, second actual play, Angels and Ghosts. Then the preview, Assault, Sicily Primosole Bridge, Red Devils versus Green Devils. And this is by Sound and Drums. The man, famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, has 8 videos. And Atchinson's book discussion, then Glory Road book discussion, then he plays Nations in Arms Empire, 1805, then Leaving Raid, then Nations in Arms Empires, Nation in Arms Empire, 1805B, then To Conquer Chaos, and the Star Droppers book discussion. Then Nations in Arms Empire, 1806A, and then Quicksand book discussion. Man, this guy reads a lot of books fast. On Camp Sawyer, 3 videos, same subject, Long Street Attacks. And it's the Whirlpool intro, and 4:20 p.m. turn, 4:40 turn, and 5 o'clock. Holy moly, this is in 20 minutes, man. Bloody hell. Camp Sawyer. Chalkboard Commander looks at World War I Deluxe Edition and unboxing. Total War Reimagined by Strategy and Tactics. The man with the bionic hair, Carl Walmsley, Drop Zone Commander, Operation Artemis overview and unboxing.
For the first week of July 2025, Seek Out and Play presents Dune, War for Arrakis by Simon. Designed for 2 to 4 players, although there are solitaire rules, the game covers the events depicted in the famous Dune book series by Frank Herbert. The video offers an introduction, unboxing, setup, and a layout of the turn sequence to show you how to play each round. Check out more videos when you subscribe to the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel. In addition, there is a monthly Speak Out and Play podcast, which you can find on Buzzsprout and Spotify. For just $2 per month, you can support the channel by becoming a Patreon member and see the videos and podcast 48 to 72 hours in advance. At least one new video is released every week on the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel, so I will see you next Wednesday.
Castle Arkan Jim's page. 2 videos. Why you should be playing King Arthur. And then they review, or Jim reviews, Panzer Leader. Panzer Leader. Charlie Charles Latora, the One-Eyed Jack, has more than 4 videos, but you know, things I only copied 4. And he says, for Kilroy, F&M Special Edition with a game, Beginner's Guide to Strategy Gaming, 86. Then North Africa, 41, almost ready. 1 hour to sort the counters. Well, wasn't that fun, Charlie? Hey? 1 hour. But you know what? It's a hobby, and it takes the time it takes. I'm sure it was enjoyable. Every counter laid down. Book 3, The Honor of the Queen, is another video, and then a Knight's Deck Yu-Gi-Oh! Unplayed, thrown together haphazardly. Or haphazardly. 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 What a wicked word. Haphazardly. What's hap about hazardly? I don't know. Coleman Split. 1 video, and it's Galeri Mobius Premium Airbrush Review 0.03. I have a Galeri .02, and I'm thinking of getting the .03. Now, you're going to say, Dan, what the hell, man? You're spending money? No, hold on a second. These are not expensive airbrushes. And very good quality. That's all I'm saying. Dad versus son. You know, I've joked around so much about Down Under, Kiwi, Brit. I don't even know where he comes from anymore. Sorry, Dad. 4 videos, and it's all ambush. And it's Mission 1 Part 4. Did someone say ouch? Then Mission 1 Redux Part 1. We're hunting wabbits. Then no, it's duck season. And they're bleeding like wabbits. What a nut. On Dad versus Son. And this is Dana Lombardi. What a nice guy. NORAD is back. June 2025. Check it out. Eric's Table, Napoleonic Battles, 3 videos. They're live streams, all of them. And it's La Bataille de Moscow, 1812. Part 3. Then the Battle of Lobositz. Turn, it says the 1220 turn reboot with new scenario rules, then going back to La Bataille de Moscow, part 4, excuse me, on Eric's Table, Napoleonic Battles. The Shiv, Gaming with E.R. Bickford, 2 videos, 3W Game Collection, and Axis Empires, part 35. The Leonidas of ASL, George Chiotis, Tikanis, George, Yasu. ASL, Sesame Street has one influenced the other by George Chiotis. Oh, well, this is George's dissertation on what Sesame Street and ASL have in common. Yep, George, you're crazy. Efaristo. Hex to Hex, 1 video, it's the last chance for victory at 3:15 p.m. the 1st of July, 1863 in 4K. Hex then countered 4 videos, Baltic Freikorps, I should say, 1919, Paper Wars number 109, then Kursk, South Flank by Avalanche Press, First Look, then Midweek Magazine, number 14, World at War, number 101, Solomon's Campaign, 42 to 43, and then Top 15 War Games of 1985. I gotta check that out on Hexed Encountered. Respect! Jim Ozarski, 4 video, Escape to Victory for Chain of Command, 2nd edition, then Der Leon's Attack for General d'Armée 2, and another 1863 Longstreet Campaign battle and the Battle of Dogger Bank for When Dreadnoughts Ruled the Sea on Jim Ozarski's channel. Juste Garde, 1 video on his first impressions of close quarter battles, Waterloo by Lock and Load. KilRoyWasHere, 8 videos, obviously. Tarkir Dragonstream, Jeskai Striker Commander Deck. What the hell am I saying? Then Coffee with Kilroy, Game Trade Magazine, issue number 305, GTM. And again, Coffee with Kilroy with Gettysburg, a Battlefield Atlas by Simons. Then Coffee with Kilroy, Fire and Movement number 31. December 1982, Battles and Leaders. This guy's drinking a lot of coffee, man. Then Gettysburg, A Time for Heroes, Worthington Publishing, After Action Report, and Anniversary of Battle. Again, Coffee with Kilroy, Gettysburg, A Journey in Time by Frasanito. Then Deep Dive, Battle of Gettysburg, July 1st to 3rd, 1863, My Collection from Corps Regiment. And Command and Colors, Medieval Crusades by GMT, Battle of Hattin, July 4th, 1187. Lock and Load Publishing was live with Friendly Fire, June 27th, World at War, 85. The man who looks like a vampire, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Productions, 2 videos. Harpoon Force to the rescue. Daring British mission to save the Dutch government. Then Fagelin, the mysterious demise of Hitler's SS liaison, episode 1. Fagelin. Meandering Mike. Surprise mail call, Imperial and Royal Panzers by Avalanche Press. Look at that tank. Huh? If that's a rowboat there, that's massive. Anyways. Of Moe's Game Table War Diary issue number 29 digital preview. My own worst enemy hasn't been done something in a while, and he does something now, and it's Origins 2025 wrap-up, celebrating 50 years of gaming. So, in 1879, the Brits, they want more land, right? So what do? They send 1,700 soldiers someplace in Africa where there's a tribe called the Zulus. That place is called Isandlwana. What? Isandlwana. Papa! The Zulus, we're gonna take them, right? Anyways, so they attacked the Zulus. And you know how many there was? 20,000. So I'll let you figure out what happened. I'll give you a few seconds. So after the Zulus decimated the Brits, 4,000 of the Zulus walked 10 miles to Rorke's Drift, where there was 100 more Brits. They were going to take care of them. Worthington Publishing and the battles of Isandlwana, and a couple of minutes later, Rorke's Drift in Victoria Cross 2 Deluxe Edition. Yes! So let's look at what's inside this box. Hey, you got a double-sided mounted board, you get 3 counter sheets, 2 sets of rules, 2 sets of player aids, because why would you want to share? You're at war. Also, you get dice, rule book, and, as I said, player aid cards. Isandlwana. And you know, they're really nice, these guys, Worthington Publishing. They even put in a counter tray. Yeah. So I wanted to be nice too. That's me and the glare in the counter tray saying hello. So think of it as 2 games in one. The first game, Isandlwana, basically it's block formation battles, right? Like in the old time of Napoleon. They were still doing that. And the second game is a state of siege game. So they're coming at you and you gotta fend them off. Because in the first battle, things don't look too good. But in the second battle, historically, they won. So this is a 2-player game, right? So how did the Brits win? Well, the Brits win by inhibiting the Zulus to get their victory points. How many victory points do the Zulus have to get? Well, they need 14 strength points. That's it. This game is a 2-player game, 3 out of 10 in complexity, plays in about an hour and a half. What more do you want? The map board is divided into different zones, right? And the combat is so easy. Depending on how many zones you are away from the enemy, and depending on how many dice you roll, if you're 3 zones away, you hit in a 5 to 6. If you're 2 zones away, you hit in a 4, 5 to 6. You get it? It's easy. Also, the Zulus have hidden information, meaning you don't know how many warriors there are. So, the Brits, those big numbers, means that you have 2 strength points. The Zulus, you don't know. So when you attack, you turn it over, and then they kill you. Easy, fun, fast-playing, 2-player game, Victoria Cross 2, great. I had a good time. You know what? The Brits thought they were going to slaughter these bunch of savages. Nangoya, 2 videos. Leo trying to get the second hand. We're talking about Leo the cat. And then the Russian 4th Army brings in more troops for the defense of Kielce. January 3rd. Probably pronounced it wrong. I'm sorry if I did. The Nerd Workshop, 2 videos. GMT Games, Red Dust Rebellion, first look. I remember playing it with Vlad. I think his last name is Bakahadi, something like that. And super nice guy. He was just over a few days ago. And you know what? He even offered to read the rules to Cataphract. So We can play a game and he can teach me how to play. What a guy! And then GMT Games Skies Above the Reich playthrough and setup. This is a game by Jeremy White. That's right. Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials, Combat Commander Europe, Scenario 12, A Misty Mountains. Phoenix Knight looks at Israeli Air Force leader, an unboxing, a game by DVG, and it's a game by Kevin Verson. Pushing Cardboard's podcast, Castel Nuovo, 1539 in Quebec, 1759. Thing about Quebec, 1759, it's, I don't know if that, is it 1759? Yeah, 1759. You know, North America could have spoken, or could have had French as their first language. But no, the Brits kicked ass, and so English was it. Ruffy of Rough Swordsman Wargamer, the Tony and Ruff livestream, Battle of Tewksbury, part number 3. Sean Lambert is back. War in the East 2, Soviets, T-22, part 1. That map looks a little bit sparse, but he's looking at weather conditions, so, you know what I'm saying? Stephen Dolge's 4 videos and its great Battles of the American Civil War version 1.0 second impression via Cedar Mountain after the battle. Then Highway to the Kremlin 2 retreat campaign, an introduction. And the same subject, and it's campaign part 1 and campaign part 2 for the last video on Stephen Dolge's this week. Storm of Steel Wargaming, check out those minis. He had to paint them. Hobby update on Storm of Steel Wargaming. The Board Game Chronicles 2 video, first look at Combat Commander Mediterranean, an unboxing and overview, plus Space Corps 2025 to 2300 AD digital edition. Early preview. I did not know that. This is a game by John Butterfield, published by GMT. Code of the Discriminating Gamer and friend Ray. History of the World 2025 unboxing with Ray. Then Folded Space, Unfathomable plus expansion insert with Code. Then Iliad unboxing with Ray. And then Proving Grounds with Ray. Tom Vassell gave me that game. Tom Vassell. He says, here, take that game. Because I asked him for a game for on the plane or something when I went down to Homestead in Florida when he invited me to the Dice Tower 24-hour marathon. Or was it 48? That fantastic channel by Indy Nidell, The Korean War, 2 videos, The Korean War Week 53, Moscow says end the war. I have said that last week. And then The Korean War Week 54, 1 year at war, peace talks, still just a rumor. 1 year, I think it lasted 3 years, yeah, I'm saying. The name of the game plays, how to play I should say, Cemetery Hill, the Battle of Gettysburg. The gentlemen of the Player's Aid have 4 videos. Blue and Gray Deluxe Edition by Decision Games, an unboxing. Then a review of the Roads to Vicksburg Strategy and Tactics magazine number 103. And then a Beer and Pretzel war game, Wild Blue Yonder. And they review Crusades and Revolution by Compass Games on the Player's Aid. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer 3 videos. British Tank Ace is a new game by Compass that's designed by Gregory M. the Animal Smith. It's British Tank Ace. It's the Kickstarter. Plus Goliath Print and Play Preview and Fields of Fire Deluxe Example of Play Part 1, a game published by GMT, designed by the great Ben Ho. The Hugh Hefner of War Games. Warty Robe plays World War II. Oh, Jesus. And it's 3 videos of the Battle of Gettysburg, and it's day 1, then day 1 after action report, and July 2nd, a plan. On Warty Road plays World War II. For our Polish viewers, Wojennik TV, 2 videos unboxing Wolfpack, a game by Mike Bertuccelli, published by GMT, and then Sagrada Legacy, a review. And he says, spoiler-rammy. There's a spoiler, so be careful if you understand Polish. Because if you don't understand Polish, ain't no spoiler gonna happen. Then Forever 27, Mike of Zilla Blitz, 4 videos. And it's Maida 1806, first look and overview Napoleonic War Games. Form Square Games, then No Retreat, the Russian Front by Karl Paradzi. And it's a playthrough, and it's a PC Hex Encounter war game. It's on Steam. Then British Tank Ace, first look and overview. And No Retreat, the Russian Front playthrough conclusion. The digital version on the Zilla, the Blitz. Zilla Blitz. Excuse me. Hi, kiddies. It's your Uncle Joe here. I just want to say that I'm not going to be around today, but I got a few of my comrades. They're going to be entertaining you for a little while. I'm just taking it easy, you know, because Uncle Joe, he's tired. But with that said, Joe Pot loves you. That's go. Today's episode is called The Shop. Scheiße, it's a Schmeißer. Das ist ein Schmeißer. Oh, Schmeißer, das ist ein Schmeißer. The engine's fucked. Why do I have to clean it? Why don't they just get a new tank? I can't weld this shit. The guy across me is pretty cute. That son of a bitch looks at me one more time, I'm gonna shove a torch up his ass! Oh wait. That's probably not a good idea. Maybe I should go say hello. Why? Why do I have to weld this? I don't like it. Hey, Joe, the engine's fucked. It doesn't work. Scheiße! Das ist ein Schmeißer! Scheiße, das ist ein Schmeißer! Scheiße! I'm not doing it. God, I just wish I'd die. I just wanna die. God, he's so cute. I just wanna die. I'm gonna kill him, I swear to God. He's gonna die. I'm gonna shove his head in the machine. In the lathe. It's a steel lathe. Christ, how long can I keep doing this for? I can't do it. The engine's fucked, Bill. The engine's fucked. Scheiße, das ist ein Schmeißer. Kiddies, I'm freaking Joe Bud, and I know all you kiddies want to be like me, but you can't. You can't be like me. I'm Joe Bud, damn it. Look at me. I'm the perfect specimen. Joe Bud loves you. another week, another show. Oh my God! Today, man. Today, you know, I don't know why I still have hope for humanity. I don't know why. Well, I know why. There's some great people. I mean, war game people. Excuse me. The majority of the 98.2% are beautiful people. The rest, I don't want to talk to them. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I don't know, I think there's something with the subscription here that maybe YouTube capped it because it's war games. It's politically incorrect. Hey, it is what it is. So, well, I hope you liked the show. I'm sorry I'm being grumpy. And to the people buying the games, yes, the games that you wrote and I haven't answered back email-wise, they're still here. I didn't sell them. I will answer you. I promise. I'm probably going to do it tomorrow because tomorrow I have the day off. I work early mornings and I come home and I'm trashed. And I go to bed at 8:30, like lovingly so. Yay, it's 8:30, I'm going to bed. What kind of a life is this? Anyways. Look, people, my house is for sale, and it's actually on the web. It's on. You have to check Centris Realtors, and my town is called Les Coteaux, LESCOTEAUX, and it's the house with the grass on the driveway, because I like my stuff wild. I don't like lawns. I wish I had trees all over the place. You know, like Mark Wilson, man. That guy must breathe wonderfully. He's happy, man. He's happy. And, so this is Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday, the next day is Sunday, and then another week begins. Check out my house, just for laughs. And, well, you know what? I'll put it on at the end. How's that? You don't even have to check it out. I'll put all the pictures on at the end credits type thing, or the music, all right? So, hasta la vista. Abunai, everybody, abunai.